Hello everybody and welcome in to the 4th annual Luken Boyle Campaign for Kindness. We want to welcome everybody in and thank you for your continued support. My name is Bill Boyle, Luken's uncle. We're going to hear from Sam Boyle, Luken's mom, my sister, in just a little bit, and I'll kind of give you a hint of what she's going to be talking about. First of all, we want to thank our sponsors tonight. Digital 55, who's working on the website. Going to be really cool, and also GM Powertrain Toledo. So we want to thank those sponsors for helping us out tonight. Also, we're going to have some guests on tonight, some of the usual suspects. If you haven't watched us before, Jason Candle, the head coach of the University of Toledo football, will join us. And also our mayor, Wade Cabbage, will join us as well. So we're looking forward to that. Very excited to have those guests. We're also going to have something new this year, some student testimonials. And as you can see, we're in the kindness room here at Central Catholic High School. This is a beautiful room. We're really starting to push these kindness rooms. We're starting to get in more schools. And again, my sister Sam will talk about more of that a little bit later on in tonight's campaign.
Hi, my name is Samantha Boyle. I am Luken's mom and the executive director of the Luken T. Boyle Campaign for Kindness. I first off want to thank everybody for tuning into this year's virtual rally. We were a little bummed to do it this way, but with the help of a couple of sponsors, Digital 55 and GM Toledo Powertrain, we are able to do the virtual rally again this year. And I know there's been a lot of things that are going to be talked about, new things we're going to do. Our website's is redone, and thank you to Digital 55. It's amazing, so I encourage everyone to check that out. But right now, for those of you who might be new to us, new to the campaign, and not know anything about us, I would like to share our story, Luken's story specifically, and what happened and why we're here today, promoting kindness in anywhere we can. Luken was 14 years old. He had just turned a couple of months before today's date, July 31st. This was back in 2017. I could go on and on about Luken and how kind he was, and you know, he was truly embodied what it meant to think of others and to be thoughtful and compassionate, and he really did live his life that way. He had many friends. He was well liked. He was handsome. He wasn't depressed, and he wasn't bullied on a regular basis. So that leads me to what happened on July 31st of 2017. I had gotten a phone call from a concerned parent. There had been an incident with another classmate of theirs, which she was being targeted and bullied pretty viciously. And when her story came out and parents were made aware, it was also divulged that Luken had been catfished. For those of you that don't know what that means, catfishing is when someone creates a fake profile pretending to be someone they're not in order to trick or fool someone into conversing with them. So this classmate and friend of Luken's created a fake profile as a 13-year-old girl and carried on a fake, if you will, relationship with Luken and pretended to like him. And it was brought to my attention on this day 4 years ago, July 31st. And I appreciated the parent giving me this information. And so Luken and I had a discussion after the parent called, and he seemed okay. He was upset. He was upset because his feelings were hurt. And I reassured him several times, I'm going to take care of this. Don't worry, you know, I will figure this out. And I had every intention on on making sure that, you know, things were properly handled through parents. I had to leave. I had my other daughter to take a friend of hers home, and then Lucan has a brother and a sister, so both younger. Lucan was my oldest, and his brother decided he was going to go to a friend's house down the street. So we were all leaving, and I left and told Lucan, you know, just go to your room and chill out. You're not in trouble. I just want you to decompress, you know, think about some things, and let's think about how we can do better with, you know, being more responsible with your phone, you know, all those things a parent would say after finding something like this out. And again, I reassured him that don't worry, everything's going to be okay. And he seemed fine. He was calm. He said, okay, Mom, I love you. And we left to run some errands, and we were gone for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. And we got back, and sorry, I'm going to get emotional. But my daughter wanted to go swimming. She was 9 at the time, and she didn't want to swim alone. So I said, well, go get Lucan, and I'll swim too. You know, it was really hot out that day, kind of like today. And so she went upstairs to get him, and I had gone to change myself to get ready to go swimming. And she comes running down the stairs, and she says, Mom, Lucan's sleeping funny. He's sleeping funny. And I said, well, just wake him up. What do you mean he's sleeping funny? And I had to kind of listen for her again. And she said, no, Mom, he's got something around his neck. So I immediately knew. I don't know how. I don't know. I just took off upstairs, and we found him. He was hanging from his bunk bed. He had taken his life. I immediately took him down. My body went into shock. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was a nightmare. And that's what I kept saying. So I took him down, and I gave him CPR. And it was, in my heart, I knew it was too late, but of course you don't give up. I sent my daughter downstairs because I didn't want her to see. And she was so brave. And she went down and unlocked the door for the rescue crews. And that happened on this day 4 years ago. And why I find it so important to share is because it could have been prevented. We need to teach our kids to do better. After they pronounced him at the hospital, you know, I had to tell his siblings, and I'll never forget that. Our lives were forever changed. So after writing the obituary and coming up with a name, I wasn't quite sure what direction, but I knew I wanted to get the message out and share with kids, you know, what can happen when you prank someone or you have malicious intentions towards someone to hurt them. You never know what that person could be going through and what will set them off, because we've been so desensitized to the word suicide and to, you know, putting it out there to kill yourself. And I believe that when we're younger at that age and our brains are developed, that we don't understand the ramifications and that it's a permanent decision. It just seems like an easy way out, but it's destructive and horrible. And I felt like kids needed to know what they could do. There were all these campaigns or organizations out there, you know, to stop bullying, and it was all what not to do, at least in what I had seen. So I felt it was really important that we focused on what we can be doing. We need to be teaching these kids what empathy and compassion really means and what it means to be intentionally kind. So 3 months after Lucan passed away, I had an opportunity to speak in front of over 100 kids from all different area schools. And it was a training for a program where it's peers educating peers. it's called Team Pep through ProMedica. And the woman who ran the organization asked me if I was ready and if I could come speak. And I said yes. And I went, and I have no script, and I make sure I tell people first and foremost, I am not a professional public speaker. I'm just a mom who lost her son in the most horrible way, and I want to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. And if I can help just one other person, then it's all worth it.
And our next guest is a longtime supporter and advocate of the Campaign for Kindness, our mayor, Wade Kapsakavich.
Hi, this is Wade Kapsakavich, mayor of the city of Toledo. I think all of us who happen to be parents would wonder what we would do in the unthinkable and terrible occasion of us losing one of our children. That's what happened to Samantha Boyle 4 years ago. I don't know what I would do if I lost a son like she did. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what any one of us would do. I would like to think, though, we would have the courage and the conviction to try to turn the worst tragedy any one of us could face into a positive. It's the easiest thing in the world to be kind. It doesn't cost you anything. It's one of the thousands and thousands of choices we make every day, and there's just nothing bad that can come from choosing to be kind, choosing to be nice. That's what this campaign is all about. Born out of the worst heartbreak any of us can imagine, it has grown now in just 4 years to a campaign and an initiative that is working with the diocese to, where possible, include kindness rooms in the schools of our community. I know they already have them at Central Catholic and Blessed Sacrament. A small movement is growing, a small idea is growing. So, as I have done in the past and will probably do again, I am declaring today, July 31st, 2021, to be the citywide Day of Kindness throughout the city of Toledo, and to do so in honor of Lucan Boyle and his campaign for kindness. Let's all do what we can to keep his memory and his cause alive.
All right, a big thanks from the mayor for that and his continued support of the campaign. Now we're going to hear from our next guest, the head football coach of the Toledo Rockets, Jason Candle. Jason's a longtime friend of the campaign, and he's instilled what he's taken from the campaign into his football team, so we're going to hear from him next.
Hello, I'm Jason Candle, the head football coach at the University of Toledo. Around 12 years ago when I arrived at the University of Toledo, I met Mike Boyle and his family. Mike has become a great friend and a very loyal Rocket and a very loyal supporter of our program. Upon learning about the tragic events of what Luken and the family have went through, and following Sam's initiative to help make kindness a priority in our society and a priority in our world, what an inspiring time and an inspiring thing to rally behind. Each and every year, the kindness rally is something that our football players look forward to, and getting to interact with some of the kids in the city and the youth of our community. I think this is a major deal. It's something that we fully support, something that we embrace and look forward to each and every year. Many of us have been victims of bullying through our lifetime and experienced that, and obviously certainly that is not a good thing. The flip side of that is many of us have been through many times or opportunities where somebody has impacted our life in a positive way by the random act of kindness that they have shown. As recently as this summer, my wife and I were on a family vacation trip up to fly out of the Detroit airport to fly to Florida, and we happened to get a flat tire and were broken down along the side of the road there, and a police officer comes up and assists us with fixing our tire, but not only assists us in fixing our tire, but got our car towed for us and actually drove us to the airport. And I think it takes a real special person to put yourself in that situation and go out of your way to go out of what your daily routine is to make somebody else's day brighter. I think this is something that is inspiring, something that we all can learn from. No random act of kindness. The smallest version of it is should never go unnoticed, and is always a good thing. So I encourage you to continue to be better and make this world a better place than what we found it, and continue to do these little great things that ultimately lead to making our, like I said, our world a better place, our community a better place.
All right, thanks Coach Candle for those kind words. Well, before we hear from some of the students here at Central Catholic, we're going to hear from Mona McGee. For those of you who don't know, Mona oversees the kindness room here at Central Catholic, and she really has an impact on these students as far as spreading kindness and just being aware and very involved in the kindness room. And also, for those of you who don't know, if you never met Mona, she does everything 150%, and she's brought that effort here to the kindness room. So now we're going to hear from her.
So the thing that I get motivated by is the fact that every school should have an intentional kindness initiative. Does it have to be a room? I would like it to be a room, because the kids know when they go in there that their intention is to create something beautiful for another human being. So it makes them more aware. What we've seen too is now anytime there's a birthday, an occasion, a sadness, a celebration, the first thing the kids want to do is create a card for that occasion, which makes me so happy, because that's lifelong learning. The students that we've been able to work with that took a leadership role now, please understand that when you come around this kindness initiative, you're cutting, you're pasting, you're gluing, you're folding, you're doing something. But the major people that really made this happen behind the scenes, Bart Reamer has such organizational skills. So he took the lead role in organizing the team and basically guiding the team down the path of getting things done. Layla Jefferson is amazingly creative. Like, her ability to envision what the rest of us can't see always inspired us, because she always said, what if we add this and what if we do that? And every group, I don't care who it is, needs a taskmaster. If everybody's dreaming and visioning and whatever, and you don't have somebody to stay on task, you're in trouble. And that's Sarah Turner. Sarah Turner is a create the list and get it done. And she checks everything off the list. The amazing thing about Sarah, she's only a freshman. Layla's gonna be a senior and Bart's gonna be a senior, but they work together as if they were friends for their entire life. You would have never known that a freshman was working with a senior. But by the grace of God, and this is the amazing part when he's pretty much making things happen, is you get stuff done, you respect each other's judgment, ideas, and the collaborative project is amazing.
All right, and thank you, Mona, for those words. We all know in this world, now more than ever, we're in dire need of more kindness. Up next, we're going to hear from a few students who have been impacted by Lucan's legacy, hear about their experiences. And these kids are just a few students of many amazing young men and young women who are involved with not only the campaign, but the kindness room as well.
Has being involved in this, in the campaign, can you speak a little bit about how maybe it's helped since you were bullied and you've had experience with that? Has this kind of helped? I mean, I think it's amazing that you want to help others, and that's, of course, a big part of this, but how do you think it's helped you, like, spiritually and mentally? Yeah.
It's helped me, like, open myself up more because of, like, the bullying and stuff. I used to be very, like, closed off, and I wouldn't help people as much because, like, I don't know if they're gonna hurt me, like, that kind of
Emotional.
mindset. Yeah. And so it's helped me, like, become more open and comfortable with, like, talking to people about past experiences, my life in general, just good things going on in my life.
That is so awesome. Yeah, I think that's one of the beautiful things is that, like I said, you guys probably normally wouldn't be friends, maybe, because you're in different grades and maybe not. But because you guys have this here, you know, you've been able to forge a friendship. And then, you know, also, I think that along with this, knowing Lucan's story, and you guys know Lucan's story, right? How has that, being able to put a face to it, like the stigma that comes with suicide and bullying and all of that, it can seem like such a faraway concept. Has knowing Lucan's story kind of helped you guys to personalize it so that it's impacted your lives? Because you obviously are very involved, so you're impacting many people. But how did that affect your desire, your willingness to come and be a part of this Lucan story?
I think just the fact that it puts just a face to it is super important, because there's a certain amount of like, we're always like told to do something because it's the right thing to do, or like, don't do this, it's the wrong thing to do, and along those lines. But it becomes so much more real when it's like there's actually a human face to something, and that you realize, oh, okay, it is like everyday interactions that can really make or break someone's day. Like, I think just the fact of like being able to look at a picture and remember, because it's hard to like summarize the entire like being a kind person thing so easily unless you have like it makes sense that you would have like a person to look at to remind you to be kind, because kindness is a human thing, and like you need to help other people. So like it really is like everyday interactions, like simple things, like smiling to someone in the hallway, like writing a little note, that are really going to like heavily impact someone, and that like it really is like, we're not like being kind to animals or like helping the earth in this specific instance. It really is like a human camaraderie thing.
Right. What was your... Sarah, that's right, I knew that. How has it, Lucan's story and the campaign as a whole, how has it impacted your everyday life and being involved in this?
Before I would really think about like a note could like save somebody from living and not living. So it's like just thinking and bringing a face to that, just thinking about it, to write a note to somebody, and it might actually save them from being here and seeing them tomorrow. It's like really impacted my life to make sure I do it and not like thinking it's a chore and it's actually something I want to do.
That's awesome. And how about you?
Personally, it kind of makes like, when I first like did it, and like I didn't really know Lucan's story as much, but now I know like more about it and what he struggled with, it's made it more like personal, because I've dealt with like similar experiences, and it's like kind of can connect with like the message that like one kind of can change like somebody's whole life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's perfect.
Hi, my name is Morgan. I knew Lucan because we grew up together and we lived down the street from each other. We went to the same middle school, growing up from preschool to 8th grade. And everyone knew each other there. We all lived in the same neighborhood, so we were all very close. And we would walk to and from school together, and all of us would go hang out at the park and go do just normal kid things, ride our bikes around. And he was always a really great friend to me. He's a grade above me. So I met him through my older brother, who's a grade above him. And they were very close. I remember this one specific time that sticks in my mind whenever I think about Lucan, and what the Kindness Campaign is all about. And it was about a month before his passing, and it was my 4th of July party at my house. And one of my friends had spilled grape juice on her shoe, like fake wine, because we were celebrating the 4th of July all together. And Lucan was there, and he noticed, and my friend had to take off her shoes, and she was embarrassed because she was the only one who didn't have her shoes on, and you know, as kids, small insecurities like that have a big effect. And no one else really had noticed it, and we all just kind of brushed it off, but she was embarrassed, and she was sitting by herself. And so Lucan put himself out there, and he took his shoes off. And then everyone kind of followed the trend, because that's what he did. He put himself out there and was willing to maybe be embarrassed to help someone else out. And it ended up, you know, building her self-confidence. And then we all had a great time, because he recognized that small little detail that really changed her day around that none of us had even noticed. The kindness room at Central has been amazing for the school and for the students, and it has had a huge impact on everyone. And I think that the biggest thing that it does is gather everyone together and give them an opportunity to consciously do something good for someone else. Because a lot of times we go throughout the day and maybe we'll do something kind unconsciously, but usually our focus is ourselves. And that just gives us a time in the day to all get together and think of kind things to do for other people. And it really shows you a more human side of, you know, the other people in your school, the students, because you don't know everyone, you're not close to everyone, and you just kind of think of them as a background in your life. And when you see them putting an effort to be kind to others and coming up with ideas and how to make somebody's day better, you realize that they're also just a human being who seeks kindness just as much as anyone else. And you realize how much of a difference it makes in other people's days, like not even just the students, but the teachers, the community, and just seeing them, you know, light up over something as small as a thank you card for helping us with our homework, or getting together and even just saying something kind to somebody else, or having a mission to go throughout your day and compliment two people, and the crazy difference it makes in yours and other people's day. It's been amazing to see, and it really has carried on Lucan's legacy. And go ahead.
Up next, we're going to hear from a Campaign for Kindness board member, Rick Longnecker, who's going to talk about a new program here for the Campaign for Kindness.
We've reached a special moment in our program. It's time to launch the Luken T. Boyle Kindness Recognition Program. Every minute of every day, people around the world commit millions of acts of kindness. Some acts of kindness change a person's day from negative to positive, like holding a door open for someone, sending a get well card to a person who's sick, or offering up a seat in a crowded room to a stranger. And some acts of kindness save lives, like giving a kidney to a stranger, or helping a person with a flat tire on a busy road. Please join the Luken T. Boyle Campaign for Kindness in recognizing people for their acts of kindness. Share their story so people around the world can celebrate and be inspired to do the same. When you see something, say something, because it's time to be positive. Simply go to the Luken T. Boyle Campaign for Kindness website and click the recognition button. And thank you for helping us cultivate kindness around the world and for keeping Lucan's memory alive.
Hi guys, Samantha Boyle here again. I just wanted to really take a moment to thank everyone for watching this year's virtual kindness rally. It really was a labor of love, and without the support of our sponsors, specifically, as I mentioned, Digital 55, they have totally revamped the website, which I hope everyone is checking out. It's amazing. We are so blessed to have them. And then also GM Toledo. Their corporate sponsorship has meant so much to the campaign over the years. We have been able to keep the classrooms supplied that we do have, the current kindness rooms. We've been able to provide the kids with snacks, all of our furniture, things of that nature. The past rallies, we wouldn't have been able to do those things without GM and this year Digital 55, and also, as I mentioned, Joshua. I also want to thank Carly Lakuta. She is our marketing person on the board. Really, she's the committee. She is the marketing committee. She has really done so much to put this video together and really put a lot of time and effort in, and we are so blessed to have her on our team now. Mayor Kapsakevich, the proclamation in Lucan's name, having that every year to promote the citywide Day of Kindness in his name is such a special thing. It's almost overwhelming because the support from the city and from the big companies like GM and smaller companies like Digital 55 and people like Josh and Carly, Mona McGee, my brother, just everyone who participated in making this video possible is truly someone special to me. Is truly so grateful. All of us board members from the campaign. It's not an easy story to tell, and I hope I got across to you the importance of really having conversation with our kids. As much as it's promoting kindness, it's also still protecting our kids, still being super vigilant with what they're doing online. I don't want that message to be lost. Like I had mentioned before, this year was especially tough with Lucan being a senior. So when I shared his story, I was pretty emotional, and that's okay. I just want everyone to know that the reason we do this, and the reason I'm so grateful for all the support and the momentum that we've gained, is because if we can help at least one family from this happening to someone else, then for me, it's all worth it. There's so many kids out there that have zero kindness in their homes. They never experience kindness. So by having these rooms and having the after-school program and doing all the things we've been able to do, we're able to provide these kids with an environment of kindness, with a safe place for them to go. And that's huge, especially in today. So again, I hope everybody enjoyed the rally. It really was a collaboration, pretty informal this year, which is what we wanted. And I hope it really touched your hearts and encourages you all to get out there and promote kindness, promote intentional kindness. And again, thank you from myself, my entire family, the Lucan T. Boyle Campaign for Kindness Board, and everyone else who was involved in the making of this video. We truly appreciate everything you've done for us.
Okay, before we wrap up the 4th annual Luken T. Boyle Campaign for Kindness, we need to give out some thank yous. We want to thank the University of Toledo head football coach Jason Candle for joining us tonight. And we also want to thank our mayor, Wade Capsicavage, as well. And we also got to thank Mona McGee and her students for sharing their experiences with us tonight. And I want to thank my sister Sam for joining us, telling her story, telling Lucan's story, and about the campaign and everything that goes with that. If you want to get involved, obviously we highly encourage you to volunteer. We can never have enough volunteers. Our website, lucanforkindness.org. Sam is available to speak. If there's a need for kindness at any of the schools, she speaks at schools. She's used to that, she does that. So please reach out. Again, the website, lucanforkindness.org. That is going to do it for the 4th annual Luken T. Boyle Campaign for Kindness. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.